Should be noted, by the way, that during the show, for some reason, we're stocked up on... I've got 2 Nutri-Grain bars, bizarrely, 2 minstrels. What's wrong there? 1 dodgy collar, thank you very, very much. And 2 bananas, yeah. How are we doing for
I
bananas?
see your 2 bananas, and I raise you a mango.
With the tropical taste. You've just been given the minstrels and the Nutri-Grain,
And I've got 3 minstrels, so fuck you.
I'll dole these out.
I really genuinely think that the reason you got 2 of everything is that half of them are mine.
I know I'm not a regular. Because this is like when you give, you know, like
I'll have the
you know the
strawberry one.
stupid uncle, like I had a sister, and like bad uncles were the ones who arrived out with different sweets. Yeah. You know, as opposed to uncles who just had 2 packets of whatever, and then you get. Whereas that's just fights between you know. Do you have a specific favourite?
I'll take whatever you don't
To be
want.
honest,
Don't mention
now
bad
we're like
uncles
kids
again.
at school arguing over our lunches. What have you got? I've got a Postman Pat bag.
I don't know what I want until I know what you want.
Okay, I would go for the strawberry if given
Here's the
better
apple.
half. I'll take what I'm giving
You can have it.
People in the audience going, I don't remember this being the first round last week.
It's a sheltered upbringing if your idea of a bad uncle is someone who brings you a Nutri-Grain bar. Is someone who runs into the house at 12 at night shouting, "Hide me, I've killed a kid."
Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Ben Narson, Russell Howard, Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Michael McIntyre. OK, we start with headliners. Here's a picture of Lib Dem leader Sir Mingus Campbell at his party conference in Brighton. But what does PMOC stand for?
Is it the Lib Dem leadership options? You've got pissed man or corpse.
Is it pull my old cock?
It should be Cox. He's got to. He's like a
Surely
lizard.
that would be in quotation marks in the newspaper.
That's what he's doing.
Is it, please, memory old, can't...
It's horrendous, doesn't it? He looks terrifying. Didn't I kill him on level 3 of Resident Evil?
Is it, please make Orville cooperate?
Is it Peter Mandelson's oldest conquest?
Is it...
He's actually reliving the moment.
Is it, psst, Ming's on crack?
I know this one, actually. It was actually...
You saw this in a paper, did
I
you?
saw this. It was actually his childhood nickname. He was known as the Piss Man of Calcutta.
Is it penis, mouldy, old, cobwebbed?
Is it because he's seen
Prostate
misery, old chap?
No. P doesn't stand for prostate, penis, or poo, which none of you mentioned so far. No. OK, the C stands for Campbell.
Problems mount on
Pressure
Campbell.
mounts on Campbell.
Pressure mount on Campbell. The answer I was looking for was pressure mounts on Campbell. This is a subplot to this week's conference. Sir Mingus set out his policies on environment, taxation and economy. Questions continue to be asked about his leadership and poor performance in the polls. What problems has he faced at the conference?
He's an old bastard, Dara. He was the guy who founded the Ming dynasty.
It does come down to that, doesn't it, basically? I mean, you know, he can say whatever he wants, but you just find yourself going, yeah, he's old, though, isn't he? I had somebody in a pub the other day, it was horrific, go, yeah, he's got some good policies, but I bet he don't know how to use an iPod. And you're like, as if that matters in any way. Kind of go, what are you going to do about immigration? Shuffle?
It's not even so much that he's just old, he's so sort of lifeless and lacks energy. There's more life left in Robin Cook. He's got one white blood cell left and it's fighting the Alamo. Look at him, no wonder Flash Gordon won every week.
He is the same age as Paul McCartney. And who would you rather have running the country?
Well, yeah, probably him, actually, to be honest.
Isn't it? Surely if anyone's praying for an early election, I mean, he must be praying for an early election. It's number 2 on the list in his prayers after painless death. Early election.
Who prays for a painless death every night?
Surely every morning and every night. He says he wants a greener vision of Britain.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a greener vision of Britain, isn't he? Because soon he's going to be looking up at it through about 6 inches of grass.
But that's the surely they'd bury him deeper than that. 6 inches of grass? What kind of cheapskate funeral home is he going to?
He's only 66.
I know.
Ancient.
That's all he
Jesus.
is.
Ming has said he wants to hammer the rich people.
Yeah.
He said he wants to hammer the top 10% of earners. And people going, well, you know, you'll never get people to vote for increases in tax. Well, I think if it's just increases in tax on the top 10%, then people will probably be going, maybe we will vote for that. The rest of the 90% of us going, Sodom. You know? How you feel about that as host of a top television show, I don't know.
Sodom. They're not getting in, are they? They're not getting in. Okay.
But see, that's the interesting thing, because he can say he's going to hammer the rich, but ultimately the rich own the media. So that's why there's photos of him near toilets looking really old. So there's actually no chance of
That
him
photo
winning.
near a toilet, by the way, was probably the most
Yeah,
famous
there
shot.
you
thing.
go.
This is the shot you're going to see everywhere with regards to the Liberal. Him just pointing at a toilet. Pointing at a toilet and combined exercise machine, where you can clearly sit down and isolate your pecs. I do a couple of reps just as I'm on the push out. Inhale and push it.
The new abdominizer.
I sat one of these once and managed to shit a kidney.
Is that tiny toilet, or is that the angle?
I'm presuming he's trying to, rather than that, it's like he's enormously tall and we've never been told.
Have you ever been to the loos in Hamleys?
Yes, just this morning. Why? That's the weirdest thing ever.
It is so... The loos in Hamleys are... The urinals are for children. And they are about this far off the floor, and they're about that big. It is a real... It's a test of accuracy. And faith, isn't it?
Hey, stay out of the loos and Hamleys then, kiddie fiddlers. They're for kids.
Here's a quote from Mingus. If you ever put me in one of those ham slicing machines, you'd find the top half Liberal and the bottom half Liberal Democrat. You're kind of going...
What an incredible thing to say.
Well, A, who goes into a ham slicing machine for a start? Surely you mean in one of those machines that cuts you in half, not one that slowly grinds it out to a series of really tiny
He'll
slices.
still be alive after this. I mean, it just shows you he is a zombie.
That would be
No
amazing.
wonder you couldn't kill him on that part of Resident Evil.
If they
that would be great.
At the conference and they said, please welcome our leader, and everyone's expecting a very boring speech once more, Menzies Campbell, whatever he's called, and his legs come out 2 minutes before his body. Liberal Democrat, come on! Bring on the cheeky girls!
He's got a 4% approval rating, Ming Campbell, which is nothing. Right, so they could just have anybody lead them. It's not going to make any difference. So I say, come on, let's get Lee from Blue. He's not going to be any worse.
He's looking for a gig.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
And also his policies aren't going to come into force and say whatever he wants. I think that the homosexuals should declare war on the robots. Doesn't matter. Lee from Blue, bit of a laugh.
And also his name is very odd. His name is Mingus.
Mingus, yes. Scots. Yeah, Mingus.
Yeah, but it's pronounced, it's spelled M-E-N-Z-I-E-S.
Yes.
Well, why are you looking at me like I'm insane?
He's got a
That's
weird name.
Menzies. Menzies.
Yeah.
John Menzies.
But apparently...
Menzies. People don't go, let's go to John Mingus. They don't do it. But what do you do? Martina Hingis. Martina Hingis. Why are you still looking at me like I'm not making sense? It's a G, not a Z.
Because I'm waiting
It's
to
a Z,
turn
not
on
a
me
G.
and my crazy ethnic name.
When they were
so
growing, it's men Z. That's not G. When they were growing, there's fundamentally something wrong with this man. He can't speak. He doesn't understand his own name. When he was growing up, hello Ming, shall we go to the Goo and see the Gebra? What are they talking about? Should we catch Gulu Dawn and maybe get to Gingerburger? It's a nonsense.
In fact, you should pronounce it John Mingus. Apparently, it's to do with a defunct Scottish letter Zog. Yeah, you couldn't make that sort of crap up, could you?
It shows you how boring the Liberal Democrats are. It's more interesting to talk about the defunct letter Zog.
How does a letter become defunct? And if
We
you're
didn't
using
need it. Yeah. We had enough of Zog.
All right. What's going on here?
Big conga. They're in a massive conga.
That is a queue outside Northern Rock, somewhere where there's a Northern Rock.
That is a cue, yes.
Old people,
Yeah.
because they're the only ones with savings, and they've got more money than anybody knew. How much money have these badly dressed old people who send you £1 for your birthday? It's unbelievable. I get a little cut. I get a cheque for £10 from my grandmother, and look at these people. It's unbelievable. Well, I've got £1.2 million in there. Buy yourself a new fleece. Look at the state of it. It's unbelievable. They're not homeless people. And they say, I'm worried I'm going to lose everything. You should be more worried about announcing on national television that you've got £1 million in your tartan trolley bag. There are homeless people going, can you spare me any change? No, only got cash. 1.2 million.
And the thing is, they're now wandering about northern town centres with all this cash, so everything else is falling, but the values of Greggs must be going through the roof. I mean, commodities brokers this week are going zinc's down, tin's down, yum-yums £3 each.
I'm also convinced, when I saw these pictures, I'm sure that half of them are just there for fun. So why are you queuing? I have no idea, but it's great, isn't it?
Somebody on the news? Yeah. That looks like fun. Let's have a bit of that. Oh, and what now? The banker backing our money will be able to queue to put it back in again.
It was quite impressive, because this is how you as a nation panic. You line up in an orderly fashion and wait for 8 days to get a draft. It's impressive. Like.
They're taking little chairs.
You see footage of like a Latin American bank collapse, and there's people like picking up bins and throwing them to a window. That's how it was in I think it was Argentina the last time the bank collapsed. None of that up in northern towns. It's all like, yes, well, you know, we've been here all morning. It's been very pleasant, actually.
Before we move on, can I just say this picture is far sadder than any of us have realised, because this woman at the back in the red dress is paying £8 in.
My favourite story was apparently Newcastle United are sponsored by Northern Rock.
They are. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the chance come Saturday. You know, you only sing when you're queuing. Where's your money gone? Where's your money gone? You're going down with the Alliance and Leicester.
I didn't even know that banks borrowed money. This has come as quite a shock. You go to your bank, you borrow money, you expect that institution to be giving you money. It comes as quite a shock to me that people are in there going, can I borrow £5,000? And then they're going, just bear with me. You know when they always get up and they go away? They're on the phone in the back going, is that Ocean Finance? I'd like to borrow £5,000. Yes, I am a homeowner.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Michael. Now we play a round called Northern Mock. This game involves Michael, Andy, Frankie and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performance stand-up skills. We spin the news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes. The winner is the team I judge to produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is health. Going to volunteer, Frankie.
Part of the side effect of the smoking ban in Scotland is that every pub, no matter how terrible or horrible, now has tables and chairs outside it. Basically, Glasgow looks like Paris after a nuclear war. People say there's no such way as a good way to die, And those people have never heard the phrase drug-fueled sex heart attack. There's a great case in Scotland at the minute. A guy had a sex change and he had everything chopped off. And then he decided that he wanted to change back. And they wouldn't let him. So he went to the European Court and they said, OK, you can change back. Now he's changed his mind again. Wants to stay as he is. Typical woman.
Cracky Royal. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is the West Country.
I'll say this.
Who? Russell.
How can you not love the West Country? I've genuinely seen graffiti in Bristol during the last Tory campaign. Do you remember, are you thinking what we're thinking? Somebody had written underneath it, is it, do I like what's-its? It's phenomenal. Just wonderful, isn't it? I used to live there. I've moved away from Bristol because I was near a dogging site, which is just a bit odd, right? And, all right, I wasn't into it. I was just near a dogging site, right? And I was talking to my friend. I was like, Jane, why do they do dogging near the house, right? And she looked at me. Apparently, you got really great views of the Clifton Suspension Bridge. And you're like, well, you've got faith in humanity, haven't you? Just the idea that some... I tell you what. It's only when you're doing the nasty in a Cortina that you can truly appreciate the work of Isambard King of Brunei. That, my friend, is craftsmanship. Shall we? Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Russell. OK, we're left with Michael and Andy. Let's spin the wheel again. The next subject is North-South Divide. There goes Michael.
Right, yes. Now, I am from the south, you noticed. I have been north, up the M1, and I don't know what happens to the word the. It seems to disappear at about junction 25 on the M1, and the word the just goes, that's it from me, I'm getting off. You go on ahead. Are you coming with? No, I'm not interested up there. And then you get there and they don't have, they say, oh, fridge, oh, you're going up to, what are you doing? My first experience of this was when I went to the cinema in Leeds. I saw The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I had more fun asking the woman what it is I'd booked to see than watching the entire movie itself. So what is it I'm seeing here today? Took one, took witch and took one. What are you talking about? Are you hearing this? Are you taking toothpaste? Yes, of course. I thought it might be a nice idea maybe to go to HMV and get a DVD of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, maybe The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and perhaps an album by The, and just line them up on the counter. What is it I decided to purchase here? Took one, took witch and took wardrobe, took good, took button, took ugly, and took.
Well done, Michael. OK, Andy, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And it's religion.
Looks like my dad. Apparently, 6 point... No, I fucked that up, so it's a bad start already.
You're putting your son off!
But if you've got a statistic, always good to start with it right. Here we go.
Time to have a minstrel break for us, then.
Good luck, me. Here we go. Apparently, 67.5 point... No, he's fucked it up again.
Andy, it'll help you. I finished my minstrels now, waiting for you. I'm eating yours now. This day, so,
Now, I don't know if you know, but apparently 67.5% of people in Britain believe in God, but only 7.5% of us attend organised religion. Huh? That's the British way, isn't it? We believe, but we can't be asked to do anything about it. It's the Sabbath, I know, but there's a car boot sale in the pub car park. We should, of course, remember that there are 5 major world religions. 4 of them got to be wrong. Imagine that, right? You're on your last day, you're going off to meet your maker. The gods of the 5 major world religions lined up in front of you. You've chosen your god, you're happy with your god. You go up to your god and your god produces a little bit of cardboard. Bluff. That is going to hurt, isn't it?
Well done, Andy Parson. At the end of that round, the points go to Michael and Frankie. The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Michael, which category would you like?
I would like the category of crime, please, Dara.
OK. Crime it is. The answer is 25 pence. What is the question?
What is the British name for American rapper 50 Cent?
Is it how much did Ming Campbell pay for his first flat?
Is it how much have I been offered for the rights to my film script, Santa the Paedophile?
If Angelina Jolie looks $1 million, what does Amy Winehouse look like?
Is it just £1 will save a child's eyesight in Africa? But having decided it's not really my responsibility, how much did I send?
Is it what everyone over 30 thinks a Mars bar costs?
How much would I have to be paid up front to kill Jeremy Clarkson?
What fee guarantees Dean Gaffney's appearance at a party?
What would it cost to have sex with Miss Columbia 1978 through an enlarged knothole in an outside lavatory door in Bogota?
Is it how much for a shag, Dara?
How much can you get a Rolex watch for in Bangkok?
What's top prize on Romanian Deal or No Deal? Can I just take the box?
I could use it for shoes.
I'm going to steer towards the correct answer. Does anyone actually have any idea what was worth 25
It's
p
something to do with money, isn't it?
It's
And
something to
crime.
do with money. It's to do with the real cost of something that was...
It was Viagra.
Absolutely right. Yes, the question I was looking for. Yes, the question I was looking for is how much were a criminal gang paying for fake Viagra tablets that they later sold for up to £20 each. Several members of an international network were found guilty of making millions from producing counterfeit Viagra and anti-baldness tablets at factories in Asia. How's the scam uncovered?
Yeah, it's it's
It
ridiculous.
doesn't grow your bloody hair back.
It was uncovered by excellent work from Customs and Excise, apparently, whereas it should have been uncovered by someone going, hang on a minute, I'm sure something's meant to happen.
The thing that worries me about Viagra is, what if you took it and you were still really bad at sex? How rubbish would you feel? Kind of go, here we go, I'll be incredible, and then pop, and you're still average.
But you know, it doesn't make
Having
you
a
better
mirror.
at sex, though, does it? It just means you've got a big stiffy. You still might not have a fucking clue what to do with it.
Just say that on the side of the packet. You may have a big, with a picture of your face.
Going like this.
Yeah. You may have a bit of stiffy, but you may not know what to do with it.
If it doesn't go well, just move down to the next car.
Or there's a thing when you tap someone about the face. I say someone, probably your girlfriend, but that's called smurfing. Did you know that?
Tapping?
Yeah. I don't know if you make the noise. You probably don't make the noise, but... You can line them up like the frog chorus. Dum, dum, dum.
Wait a minute, I missed that episode of the Smurfs. Grandpa as well.
Poor Smurfette there to take
Why
it all
would you
then.
want a Smurf?
I don't... I'm just saying I learned about this thanks to the bloody internet.
So you're tapping on the face.
Oh, it was the internet's fault.
I'm not doing anything! I just read about it!
Is tapping your girlfriend on the face with your penis?
Yes.
What, to wake her up?
No! Just to say I love you. Let's be honest. No.
Come on, it's almost 10, darling.
Honestly, none of this is made into the
You
show.
say tapping, Russell. You mean slapping.
And also, can I just say, if she's gone blue, you're too late.
I took Viagra once. I took Viagra and I had a hard-on for so long I had to give it its own shelf in the fridge. Don't bother with Viagra. I don't bother with Viagra anymore. What I do is I sprinkle powdered rhino horn on a tiger's gallbladder, but often by the time I've heated it up in the microwave, the woman's managed to wriggle free.
Did anyone see the News 24 reaction? It was fantastic, because it just came out, news just in, and they found out about the Viagra case, and it was brilliant, because they were doing little puns. They were genuinely kind of going, I bet that's a hard case. They'll get a stiff sentence, and then you could genuinely see they obviously got a word in their ear, and they went, yeah, OK.
Why? If you set up a counterfeit Viagra ring in which you basically spam people and say, I've got Viagra for you, why bother making like dodgy pills? Why bother making them at all? Just send them nothing. They're still not going to complain. Like, if they're not going to complain when the pills didn't work, they're also not going to write and go, I sent away to your company via Viagra pills and now I didn't seem to receive any.
It's now apparently the biggest selling drug in the world. Apparently, us boys, we think about sex once every 6 seconds. Now, that might be true some of the time, mightn't it? But it's not actually true when we're having sex, is it? We're trying to think of everything apart from sex. Traffic accidents, mortgage repayments, John Prescott, that's my own particular favourite. But you know when you're shagging away, right, and you've got this mental image of, say, John Prescott, and you're trying desperately not to get overexcited, and you do get overexcited, you feel dirty, don't you?
Do you know what, Andy? Next time, I'm going to be thinking of you, thinking of John Prescott.
You'll feel dirty.
Do you know what I've never understood? It's that whole kind of who's your daddy thing. Has anyone ever done that? Do you know what I mean?
Never.
Who's your daddy?
Only my daddy.
You've met him at a barbecue. What are you talking about?
I always think like when comedians do mimes of sex all the time, and they always do this motion like that, like you're shagging a typewriter, you know, like there isn't going to be some point where you stop at the side of the woman, like twack, it's like, whoa, or you're having sex in a kind of a zero gravity, no resistance, no sliding, oh sorry, just pushed her across the ice rink, wherever you're having sex.
Or it's just, just in the
Ice rink. Okay, that's the personal thing that always works for me,
The ice rink or wherever you're having sex.
Yeah, in the kind of like you go, wham, oh shit, that she just slides
What
away.
a glamorous lifestyle you're leading.
I always have sex in ice rinks.
I hope you book out the ice rink.
Sometimes.
Do you book the whole ice rink, or do you just go on a Sunday when there's kids about? Viagra's saved marriages, though, hasn't it? Because people are now still able to shag their wives long after they become physically repulsive.
It's great we've got a drug to help old people have sex, isn't it? I love old people who've got that little twinkle in their eye, you know, and you're there playing Scrabble with your grandparents, and your grandpa puts down Viagra on a double word score and just goes...
And then you leave the barbecue because that's the creepiest thing you've ever seen. I hate...
What are you playing Scrabble over a barbecue for? You've mixed your pleasures there.
The piece would burst into flames.
What's the point? You know, when you're 6, you don't have sex, just have meals together. Don't have sex, it's creepy.
The Royal College, though, didn't they?
Just all that skin shaking about like two giddy scrotums. It's hideous.
I'm sorry. We're going to keep that on tape, and we're going to ask you during Mock the Week series 94.
I'm doing it 24/7. Yeah.
With a really old guy like that, when the ejaculation finally happens, it must be just
God, no, stop.
just a puff of dust.
Just fucking porridge everywhere.
Chernobyl, you know.
Grandad, it's all over the Scrabble.
Would it be like those, you know, what are they called, the daffodils? A dandelion.
I think I want.
It'd be like a dandelion. Boom, like that.
Make a wish. I wonder about that old woman that gave birth at 63. Because that baby can't have had to force its way out. I mean, every time she went for a shit, it probably had to brace itself. Feel like the end of the Italian Job or something.
You don't want your mum to be 63 years old, do you? You don't want to be a little kid there learning how to walk and find out your mum's in exactly the same fucking state.
I think that's almost certainly the end of our sponsorship deal with Help the Aged.
Well, the money's been shit, but the sex has been fantastic.
It's gone.
Which former American hero is in trouble again?
It's O.J. Simpson. He's completely mental. You gotta love O.J., man, because he held some people up allegedly at gunpoint to get back some of his memorabilia. And his memorabilia is worth a lot because it appeals not only to sports fans but also to crime fans.
There is actually, it panned across some of his memorabilia, and there's American footballs that are signed, and there are like jerseys that are signed, and there's photograph of him in court at his own murder trial that he signed in order to be sold for memorabilia purposes.
What does he worry about that?
Keep smiling, O.J. Simpson. And a picture of him in the gloves.
It's a pity that they've done away with Celebrity Big Brother, isn't it? Because he'd have been brilliant on that. Day 63, O.J. is painting a version of the Guernica using the intestines of Charlie from Busted.
A book of, it was like a year ago, entitled If I Did It.
Yeah.
Which is basically, if I did kill her, this is how I would have done it. And you're like, gee, who's his PR? Charles Manson?
The book has been released, but not by him.
By Murdoch.
The rights to the book, If I Did It, How I Would Have Killed Ron Goldman and My Former Wife, was won in a bankruptcy case by the Goldman family.
Oh, really?
Who then released it with a cover of a big picture of him and the words, I did it, with the word if in minuscule letters. And they sold 150,000 copies in the first 2 days of release.
Maybe that's
See,
what
the thing is, he was in the hotel for a wedding. Who invites O.J. Simpson to their wedding?
He just jumped out.
He killed his fucking wife.
Maybe he just jumped out of the cake.
The police said it was an armed robbery. He said he was just with some golfing buddies.
At a wedding, yeah.
You don't play golf using guns, do you? Oh, do you want to putt this one into the hole? No, I'll shoot it in. That'll be absolutely fine.
No, you can shoot a hole. Oh, I'm a long way from the hole. Maybe that hole. I'll get into this one relatively easily.
They described the robbery as a commando-style operation. You're like, wow, thrill seeker. Guns and no pants.
Okay, at the end of the points go to Russell, Ben and Andy. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can make your way over to the performance area, please. I call ideas for scenarios who have seen the performers come in with their suggestions. Okay, here we go. The first subject is what a rugby commentator would never say.
Oh, and he skipped through the defence, and that's lucky, because if these South Sea Islanders catch you, they eat you.
It's time for the scrum where the players can have a quick kiss and exchange phone numbers.
And it's the coin toss, and Johnny Wilkinson has sprained his thumb.
And that is a massive tackle. I wish mine was like that.
Not everyone's been able to get tickets for this World Cup final, and we know a lot of you are watching at home. So hello to you, the England team.
Oh, and it's bad news for New Zealand. Rugby doesn't matter.
Keep an eye on this ball as it hits the ground, because it's such an unusual shape it could go anywhere.
Rugby was invented at a famous English public school, which was, of course, called St Bumington's Academy for Young Hoofs.
And the French have the ball, and they are going to twist it and grind it until Wilkinson gives them the leather one.
Seal it bang, seal it bang. Kia ora, kia ora.
All pretence has been abandoned as both teams take to the field naked, covered in lubricant, to the sound of pounding techno.
Thick muscular necks, broken noses and powerful thighs. The rugby wives are minging.
This young man has a brilliant playing career ahead of him, followed by a bleak career as an after-dinner speaker before his suicide at 40.
Well, he is in many ways the perfect fly half. Legs of a human, torso of a blue bottle.
The South Africans there, passing to their one black player, Johnny Token.
So it's England versus Samoa, a team of rank amateurs against Samoa.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things for a royal correspondent to say.
There's the Queen with the crown jewels on her head as Prince Philip performs a 69.
And the Queen there majestically taking her place in the queue to withdraw her savings from Northern Rock.
This man's a good friend of Prince Edward's, a euphemism for homosexual.
The Queen asked me if I was from the BBC. I said I was, and she told me to piss off.
There we see Prince Philip going over to talk to a man from China. This should be interesting.
In fact, it's the Chinese premier, and he's just asked him for a menu.
Prince Harry hasn't been put off by the congestion charge. He says he still manages to come into Chelsea twice a day.
Well, the crowd are absolutely loving this event. The night sky is dancing with light. Yes, the Queen set fire to Windsor Castle again.
It's great to see the whole family waving from the balcony through the sights of my AK-47.
And as Prince Philip cuts the tape to open this mental institution, the doctors have got him.
I've got to keep my voice down because I'm standing in the echoing hallways of Camilla's vagina.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The points go to Russell, Ben and Andy. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Andy Parsons, Ben Norris and Russell Howard. Commiserations of Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Michael McIntyre. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week for the Last in Series with a special show. Till then, I'm Darby. Good night.